It's Tuesday, September 28th, 2010. I'm Kevin McShan, and this is the McShan Sports Beat Report. There is no limit to the possibility of expansion, just as long as you're willing to accept the idea of change and the notion that things may not always be the same. For Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig, his opportunity to grow and expand his game on the field may come in the form of expanding the postseason. Some of the primary reasons Selig says that he would be open to expanding the postseason would be to increase parity in the sport and to be on an equal playing field with the three other major sports leagues in North America when it comes to postseason play. It's a fair question, Selig said, before attending the St. Louis Cardinals matchup with the Chicago Cubs on Friday. We have less teams than any other sport. 8 teams make the playoffs, 1 wild card from each league. We certainly haven't abused anything, he said. Several years ago, Major League Baseball debated the idea of expanding the postseason. They even formed a committee to look into the matter. However, Selig says that no further action was taken and that there were several contributing factors which led to no final decision being made. However, Selig says it may be time to revisit the subject. Selig says he's not concerned about the opinion of his critics and that they should look at the success the wild card round has had in the playoff format since Selig instituted it in 1994 before they passed judgment on the idea of expansion. As the guy who brought the wild card and took a lot of abuse, maybe from nobody in this room, it's worked out great. Nobody's against it, Selig said. Dan Patrick, the host of the Dan Patrick radio show, said on Monday that expanding the postseason wouldn't be that far-fetched of an idea, and he wouldn't be surprised in the least if the commissioner followed through on the measure this time. The commissioner has taken a lot of heat over the last several years over a lot of things. However, I think he may have something here, and I think he'll add a team in both the American and National League, Patrick said. However, not everyone is in favor of expanding the baseball playoffs. Some, such as Dmitrio Iosilovich, a noted sports columnist for the Los Angeles Times, says there's nothing wrong with the current baseball playoff format, and it needs to stay exactly the way it is. The saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, gets overused a lot these days, but in this case, it's actually accurate. The system is working as it is. Expanding the postseason may increase viewers, but it's not going to make the World Series any more popular, which is where revenue comes from anyway, he said. According to the Los Angeles Times, an average of 9 million people tuned in last year to watch 30 postseason games, which was up by 30% from 2008's total of 6.9 million viewers. Last year's World Series also gained steady viewership. It averaged 19.4 million viewers per ball game. It reached its peak during Game 4 between the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Yankees, when it topped out at 22.8 million viewers. The current baseball playoff system is one of the best and most compelling in all of professional sports. The drama, the intrigue, and the thrill of suspense is something that all baseball enthusiasts live for every October, including yours truly, and the thought that that may be interrupted would be a sad, sad state of affairs. Now don't get me wrong, why I'm all for growth, expansion, development of a league, and parity. Sometimes we all have to learn how to leave well enough alone, because, after all, sometimes the best thing to do is nothing at all. In the case of the baseball playoffs, in my judgment, they're picture perfect. Kevin McShan, McShan Sports Beat Report.